Presumably, taking place after the travelers' exploits in Inazuma, Liyue, the city of contracts, holds their MoonChase festival, where its inhabitants gather together under a singular theme. This year, the Liyue Chising have decided on a theme of food, where chefs across the land will compete in a cooking competition and show off their culinary prowess. Act 1, one for the foodies, two for the show, begins with Paimon seemingly exhibiting clairvoyance and sensing that it's chili pepper weather and that they should pay a visit to Wanmin restaurant for some blackback perch stew. Once there, they encounter Zhang Ling, who is just thinking about them. What a coincidence. After ordering from Chef Mao, Zhang Ling explains that she wanted to talk to them about the MoonChase festival, to which Paimon wonders if it's just another one of those festivals that Liyue holds, just like the Lantern Rite. Zhang Ling explains.
Old folks say that thousands of years ago, this was the time of the year when the Adepti would seek the way. But it's completely different nowadays. We eat our favorite foods, spend time with friends and relatives, enjoy the moon and the flowers. So much easier. Basically, we just do all the things that people like doing and don't take a whole lot of effort. Sounds like Paimon's kind of festival.
She wanted the two of them to act as her culinary consultants, to assist in coming up with new ideas that aren't too wacky, as is Zhang Ling's MO. Accepting the payless job offer, the Traveler and Paimon set off to find as many of their friends as possible to help Zhang Ling think outside the box and gather ideas from different people.
So, I was thinking, I could get the two of you to help by gathering everyone's thoughts on what makes a great dish. I really want to think outside the box this time. And to do that, I'm going to need lots of different ideas from lots of different people. This'll be a piece of cake! We've got friends from all over the map, haven't we? You sound pretty confident. Well, you know, not to brag or anything.
Before heading out, Chef Mao presents them with their order, blackback perch stew. The Traveler watches as Paimon scarfs it down before finishing their own plate. With full bellies, the three of them head off into Liyue, ready to be inspired. Their first stop is just over the central bridge, where they spot Hu Tao inspecting a bulletin board just outside of Wang Sheng funeral parlor. Immediately, her ears perk up.
What? My ears are burning. Did somebody say my name?
She welcomes them and asks how she can be of service, to which Zhang Ling asks what food she enjoys. Hu Tao, unfortunately, cannot pinpoint anything at the moment. When Zhang Ling explains how she is doing market research for the festival, Hu Tao's interest is piqued.
I see. Launching a new dish? Well, let me say right off the bat, nothing weird, okay? Some poached fish, a side of shrimp dumplings, that is all you need.
Poached fish and shrimp dumplings? That's a bit ordinary, isn't it?
Well, it is and it isn't. Think about it. Poached fish is hot and spicy with a powerful aroma. It's a dynamic dish. Add a side of shrimp dumplings, and there's your static component. Got it?
Dynamic? Oh, I can do dynamic. Mushroom slime stew, it...
No, not that kind of dynamic. A dish is more than substance, it's a mood. Poached fish is red and spicy. It elicits a response from the eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. That's why I call it dynamic. Shrimp dumplings are more subdued, clear and smooth with a pure and subtle fragrance. I call that static. Combining dynamic and static is how you create a perfectly balanced meal. A union between opposite but complementary features coexisting in perfect harmony.
Paimon didn't follow that at all. But at the same time, it kinda sounded smart, so...
Zhang Ling jots down Hu Tao's advice, while Paimon summarizes Hu Tao's explanation as just having many flavors in the same dish, to which Hu Tao expresses how she does not really care for dessert. Seriously, I guess it does make sense since you are a funeral director. How morbid.
Everything in this world runs on its own set of principles, be it the circle of life or sugar and spice. You either get it or you don't.
I'm fine with not getting it from Hu Tao. Thanks. Leaving the funeral parlor director to her thoughts, the three then head over to Boo Boo Pharmacy on command of Paimon as they are on the way to the Eugene Terrace. As usual, Chi-Chi is sleepily manning the main front desk. Baiju is also present along with his necklace-like pet snake, Chang Sheng. Zhangling gets straight to the point, and Chi-Chi slowly responds.
You need to know what food I like? It's all the same. No flavor.
Chi-Chi has some gustatory dysfunction and can't taste any food. Make no mistake, she's not being uncooperative.
Oh, I understand. That's fine. Still, I'd expect Chi-Chi to have some sort of dietary preferences, though. There must be some dishes that you like the sensation of. Sensation? Yes, there's one. Coconut milk. Nice and cold. Well, that doesn't help us. It's not a dish, it's a drink.
Both Baiju and Chang Sheng agree on bite-sized morsels of meat, to which I also personally agree with. Baiju proceeds to explain how their patients are elderly or young children, and as such cannot eat portions too large. He suggests soups and stews as they are easy to consume. Zhangling takes note as Chi-Chi laments thinking about medicinal soups. Unfortunately, Zhangling does not usually think about the medicinal value when cooking, so her cooking is probably similar to Chinese food in reality, dripping with delicious oils.
Alright, time to move on to the next. So we've got an independent thinker's perspective and a health perspective. Next, Paimon thinks we should probably talk to some picky eaters.
Picky eaters, you say? I wonder who that could...
Oh, it's the Traveler and Paimon. And Xiangling.
Oh, these three. So we can conclude from this that Paimon assumes that the higher class you are, the pickier you are. I suppose that's true. Paimon immediately realizes that something is amiss, considering there are 3 picky eaters all in one place.
What's with this great big stone on the ground?
Long story. So, just to confirm, I will assume responsibility for handling this stone of unknown origin. Any objections?
None here. You know how to get things done, Keqing. As long as it's with you, I can rest easy knowing that it's in safe hands.
Should I take this to mean that you doubt the relative safety of leaving this in the hands of the Tianquan?
Huh? Well, for starters, Keqing is the one who's always out running errands, rain or shine. Besides, you don't seem to give a wooden more about this whole thing anyway, so what's it to you?
I was merely joking. You, meanwhile, seem only too ready to pounce when an opportunity to publicly lambaste me arises. Even when it means giving our poor mutual friend here the cold shoulder.
I think this was an attempt at being funny. Sorry, I'm not feeling this one. Anyways, Beidou explains that the incredibly smooth stone was discovered by a fishing crew off the coast, and that no matter what they try, no weapon seems to be able to pierce it. Keqing, recognizing that the traveler Paimon and Zhangling probably showed up for an actual reason, allows them to speak.
I just wanted to ask everyone about their food preferences.
Food preferences? That's a little unexpected.
I have rather simple tastes. Precise, pure, smart, and sophisticated. That is all I require.
That's your idea of simple, huh?
I summed up my culinary requirements in 4 words. Is that insufficiently simple for you?
A few weeks out on the open ocean would fix your flawed definition of simplicity, let me tell you that.
What about you, Beidou?
Me? If it's freshly cooked and piping hot, that floats my boat. If it's got a little chili pepper in there too, I'm one very happy captain.
Paimon thought you would have said bar food.
Oh, bar food works too.
As for me, it's got to be seafood.
Okay, got it. So, seafood, piping hot, and, simple but sophisticated. And that's where I would disagree. Traveler, surely you've heard of golden shrimp balls.
Oh my, they're my favorite.
You need to wash and devein the shrimp, wrap it in finely sliced potato strips, then deep fry it to perfection. There's no room for cutting corners. They're very precisely put together. They taste pure, the presentation is smart, and the skill needed to cook them is highly sophisticated. It fits Ningguang's forward summary to the letter.
Paimon again summarizes that as long as the core of the food is good, the rest will come naturally. Kaching agrees and defends the golden shrimp balls, exposing her love for them.
I heartily agree. Golden shrimp balls are a prime example. Their essence lies in combining art and nutrition in a single package. It is a dish of true value.
Okay, got it. So Kaching loves golden shrimp balls.
I didn't say that. Did I?
No, at least not outright.
Zhangling thanks everyone, and Kaching requests that the traveler assist her in her research on the stone and its relation with the MoonChase festival itself. She explains that her grandfather was also a researcher, and in his notes he spoke of a deity called the Stove God, who has commonly been thought to be Rex Lapis himself. Her grandfather's notes seem to say otherwise. An old folktale told of the ancients, who were ancient humans, I'm guessing, finding the Stove God's shrine and removing a stone slab. Unfortunately, this stone was lost in transit. The stone before them matches all of the descriptions, and so an investigation must be performed. Kaching suspects that the Stove God Festival is the precursor to the MoonChase Festival. Considering how the Qixing chose food as the theme and the stone coincidentally appeared, makes her believe something divine is happening. The traveler is hesitant at first since they are assisting Zhangling, but Zhangling immediately retorts that she could learn more about cooking if she learned about the Stove God, and thus joins the investigation. Their first stop is Kingsay Village, where Kaching has heard there are many historical texts. Quickly stopping by Granny Roxan's place, she guides them towards a warehouse that houses historical texts that apparently belongs to the Feiyun Commerce Guild's youngest child, Xing Cho. As they approach the warehouse, they stop a group of treasure hoarders attempting to rob someone. Dispatching them quickly, they run off, to which the caretaker of the warehouse named Sheng thanks them. When Kaching inquires about the Stove God, Sheng explains that since the stove invention came from the Lord of Geo, that he and the Stone God are one and the same. Just to make sure, Kaching presses further for books on the topic. Just then, Xingqiu and Chongyun conveniently appear from behind. Holy crap, Chongyun doesn't just go on dates. He actually has a story to contribute. Never mind, he's literally here because Xingqiu is bored. Anyways, Kaching gets straight to the point.
Master Xingqiu, if I may be so bold, do you happen to know if there are any texts on the subject of the Stove God among this collection?
Since I personally selected which volumes to store here, I do have some recollection of their contents. If my memory betrays me not, there is one volume among them called Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, which mentions the Stove God.
Might I take a look?
Certainly. If it pleases my lady, I shall lead the way. Sheng, I will take care of things here. You're free to go about your own business.
When the two of them return from the warehouse, Kaching tells them about the book Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, which mentions the Stove God, but it only appears to point again to Rex Lapis. Chongyun adds that he recalls reading somewhere that such a god appeared in the Guli assembly, but cannot confirm truth or not. Zhangling then asks the two boys about their food preferences, to which Chongyun unenthusiastically responds.
Food? Oh no. You're not thinking of taking part in the Masterful Chefs, are you?
Yeah, I totally am. What's wrong? You look like you've just seen a ghost.
Shangling, this is a major event. I beg you, please don't cook anything strange for this competition.
What do you mean, strange?
Mushroom slime stew, to give one example.
Okay, fair enough. That dish isn't my most popular. But that's why I'm doing all this research, so I can create some really special dishes to win everyone over.
Well, in that case, I like cold food.
That's 'cause you can't handle hot and spicy, right?
Yes, you're absolutely right.
My tastes are on the mild side. I prefer gentle dishes with minimal seasoning. Soups and stews, vegetables and broth, seafood or freshwater fish, either boiled or steamed. These kinds of dishes I am most partial to.
No surprises from the Gugua Geek.
Keqing uses the information from Changyun to conclude that Wangshu Inn is nearby the Guli assembly, so that should be their next locale of inquiry. They bid farewell to Xingqiu and Changyun since they're going to go read together, I guess? Strange. But I guess that's what they came out here to do. Heading south, the four companions arrive at Wangshu Inn and take the elevator up to meet with Smiley Yang Xiao, the resident chef there, who is taken aback by Keqing's presence in his kitchen. Keqing greets him, while Zhangling apparently ogling his impressive chefly physique.
Look at that strong body, those powerful hands, and honest eyes. This guy must be a really great chef.
Okay then. Yang Xiao asks what he can help with, and Keqing requests if there are any ancient texts at the inn that mention a stove god. Yang Xiao recalls of one such book, but before they can search for it, he requests from the traveler a satisfying salad for a certain yaksha staying at the inn. The traveler agrees and cooks the salad? Once the salad is complete, Yang Xiao returns with the book, and Keqing dives right in, and this reveals that
60 miles to the northwest is the Guili Assembly. Many were settled there, where they hunted in groups, farmed the land, and made their living from what the soil yielded. When the stove god descended, one god became many, all of which were the height of children. As does a star when it descends into the world, so the stove god went out among the common folk and taught them to create fire. With fire, the people at last learned to make hot food, and they dined on rice kanji and cooked meat thereafter. This is a radically different account from the one given in Demystifying the Legends of Liyue, and also a conflicting one.
One god became many. Does that mean there was more than one stove god?
Taking the text at face value, that is what it says.
Yang Xiao asks if he can treat them all to a meal considering how they were able to help him satisfy their yaksha friend, and Keqing reluctantly accepts. They make their way down to the seated area and...
Guba!
Was that seriously Guba's voice? Hey MiHoYo, can we possibly get a voice skin so that every time I use Zhangling's elemental skill, Guoba makes that sound, please? Thanks. And to all of you listening right now, you're welcome.
Here we are. That's everything you ordered.
It all smells amazing! I think I've met my fellow finalist! It smells beautiful!
Keqing comments on how such a great chef is working at a backwater inn, to which Yan Xiao explains that he just wants the people that stay at the inn to have a good meal. Just before he heads back to work, Zhangling asks if he is taking part in the cooking competition at MoonChase. In fact, he is, and the two banter about meeting in the finals before he goes back to work. While Zhangling is busy reminiscing about her cook-off with Brooke back in Springvale, and about not having much competition, she spots something at the corner of her eye.
Guoba, what are you doing?
Guoba's eating the...
Those were Keqing's! How could you steal them while she wasn't looking?
Oh, my golden shrimp balls.
Zhangling reprimands Guoba, but he does not look like he really cares all that much. She apologizes profusely to Keqing, who does not really know how to react in such a situation. She then promises to cook anything that Keqing wants to eat, but considering Zhangling's unorthodox method of cooking, Keqing has her doubts. She mentions that her grandfather had a recipe that she would like Zhangling to make, to which Zhangling gleefully accepts. Back in Liyue, Keqing asks the traveler for assistance in handling Zhangling's overwhelming sense of generosity, to which the traveler encourages her that she's doing a pretty good job already. She smiles awkwardly and hurries off to find her grandfather's recipe. And as a side note, why does this scene look like we're in the weeds spying on them? MiHoYo, please explain. They meet back up with Zhangling, who's preparing her ingredients when a gust of wind can be heard from outside.
What the?
Excuse me, one shall not be addressed in such a manner. One shall be known as Adeptus, whose name, should you care to mention it, is Cloud Retainer.
Cloud Retainer proceeds to explain how the MoonChase Festival is held at a specific time when many cooking ingredients are ripe. As there is a great deal of activity in Liyue happening, she decided to drop by and see what all the commotion was about. She then rolls out a boastful tirade about her latest invention, a supreme cuisine machine. Ha, that's got a nice ring to it, actually.
What's a supreme cuisine machine?
No clue, Paimon. Just roll with it until she goes away.
Patience. One's purpose here today is to meet and to greet. Nothing further. All shall be revealed before your very eyes when the time arrives. Traveler, you are one who has witnessed much of the culinary world. When the day comes, one would be most pleased to see you in attendance, offering your most vociferous ovations.
Oh, so we're officially invited?
That which is implicitly understood needs not be made explicit, let alone official. I shall say no more and dwell here no longer. Await my word. Be there or beware.
As Kaching meets back up with everyone, she hands her grandfather's recipe off to Zhangling, who examines it. Just then, a familiar voice sounds.
Sorry to interrupt your conversation. I was in the area buying a few things, and I heard the disturbance, so I felt compelled to come take a look.
You mean Cloud Retainer? I saw her too. She just suddenly showed up right in the middle of the street. Whatever adeptal power that was, she certainly knows how to make an entrance.
Lady Kaching, you saw her too? Do you, have a moment? I need to discuss something with you.
What is it, Ganyu? Has something urgent come up while I've been out?
No, it's nothing work-related. I wanted to ask about, something personal. Is that okay?
A personal matter? Involving me? Surely I haven't done anything improper recently, have I?
Please, Lady Kaching? This is really important to me.
Oh, okay.
I noticed Cloud Retainer was here for quite a while. Did she say anything about... me? When I was young?
About your childhood? No, nothing at all.
What? Really? Whew. Thank goodness. I was getting really worried. Once she gets talking to people, she tends to go off on all sorts of tangents. So I was worried she might have bored you with some stories about me.
Your name didn't even come up, so you've nothing to worry about.
Paimon, being the gossip queen that she is, wants to pry more, but Kaching cuts her off. Ganyu tells Kaching that she is very kind and considerate, which embarrasses her as Ganyu takes her leave. Paimon notes how Ganyu sounded like an older sister, and Kaching immediately shoots it down. Zhangling pipes in, wondering if the stove god could be an adeptus, and the others cannot think of a reason why that couldn't be true. Zhangling suggests that they speak with her master about it, and so they set off once more to gather more clues. It appears that Madame Ping is Zhangling's master. What a surprise! They inquire about the stove god, to which Madame Ping explains that she knew the stove god, and that the stone that they found could be connected. She continues that there were many festivals that celebrated the stove god, and that Rex Lapis eventually unified all of these festivals together under the name MoonChase to honor the stove god, who apparently is not alive anymore. Suddenly, a Millilith soldier appears and tells Kaching that Lady Ningguang requests her presence, and Kaching takes her leave. Madame Ping continues further that the stove god and Rex Lapis were once good friends, along with her. She also reveals that gods cannot fully be destroyed, but can be revived into new forms. As a lore theorist, this line interests me greatly. Anyways, Madame Ping remembers Kaching's grandfather when he was Kaching's age, making Ping at least 2 generations old. She explains how she cannot just give Kaching the answer because she is now following her grandfather's footsteps and must discover the truth for herself. As they make their way back to the strange stone, Kaching discovers that there is now a large gash marking across its smooth surface, but it would appear that the crack came from the inside.
A crack has appeared in one corner, but we still can't tell what's inside.
What happened? Did someone chip it while no one else was looking?
More likely a natural occurrence. Our weapons have had no effect on it.
How would a natural occurrence crack it open?
This is because the stove god draws power from the actions of the masses. The heat of a busy kitchen, the joy of a reunion. Keep up the good work, and the truth will rise to the surface soon enough.
Paimon wonders if the activities of the festival itself are to blame for the crack, and Kaching puts 2 and 2 together, concluding that it's highly likely that Paimon's theory may be correct. This means that when the festival reaches its highest point, like the finals of the cooking competition, the stone may explode.
It's definitely a possibility.
Well, I've already signed up, so I should be able to help.
Yes, for a chef as accomplished as yourself, getting to the finals should be a breeze.
All this talk of cooking competitions is making Paimon hungry. Oh, Paimon can't wait! It'd be great if Paimon could take a nap and then wake up when it's the finals.
And this marks the end of Act 1. 1 for the foodies, 2 for the show.